け続けろ憎しみや恨みを生んでしまうのかもしれない正解のない世界に苦しんでそれでも受け止め我らは叫ばなければいけないんだ心がうついて思い描いた自由への勝利に僕のエゴであろう君の願いであろうそうでなめることもあれと悔いやくなれることもいつの日かできな信じたのは一輪の花触れてくれてその時にあがいてもがいてまみれのよいながらも概念の中にわずか輝くそれをその手に掴み取り勝ち取るためにはまた立ち上がる思い描いた自由への勝利的な僕の血肉となり君の魂となりそうだよなめることもあれと悔いやくなれることもいつの日か的な熱さ探せや大輪の花永遠の中で
Hey, good morning, everybody out there in chat land. How's everybody doing? Let me go ahead and make sure I got the live chat pulled up here where I can see that as well. Do you guys have the chat pulled up so we can follow along with the live stream with the chat here? Beautiful.
Morning or afternoon or evening, whatever it is, wherever you guys are watching from.
From all over the world. Welcome in, guys. We're going to give everybody just a couple of minutes. I know we've been live playing some jams, but I'm still seeing the viewer number count go up here. So go ahead and get everybody in here. Go ahead and message your friends. Smash that thumbs up button if you guys are, if you can hear everything, if you're here, everything's looking good, sounding good, smash that thumbs up button. We do have some new people here in the chat with us. We're going to get into introducing everybody here in just a moment. Just going to give everybody a minute to funnel in. Are you guys ready to kick off? Let's see, we got a couple of people in the chat already chatting to us. Yeah. One of these streams is just going to be working out in the background. Good looking on the new haircut. Hey, somebody peeped that you know, that I trimmed down the trees a little bit.
Fancy man.
I did it just for you guys. I was like, I'm gonna be on camera. Last time I was looking homeless. Please help, please. Oh man, guys, we really got a truly special episode in for you guys today. You guys who have been around the community for a little while probably are used to us doing Fan Fridays via Twitter. You know, we'll post like a fun little obscure story, let you guys come up with the punchline of a joke or finish the story or whatever it is, and we go through and pick the most engaging answers that are just fun, to be honest with you. Normally I'm scrolling and I'm like, whichever ones make me die the laughing the most is normally who wins. There's a little pro tip out there for you guys. So he's like, yeah, me, I'm that guy. Let's see here. So it looks like we're getting a ton of people starting to load in here. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna get started officially here in just a minute. Don't forget, we're going to be asking some questions a little bit later. We will have the live Q&A at the end for the Fan Friday section. So when we get to the point where we have announced that we're switching into the Q&A part for the community, if your question gets selected, you will be rewarded with some CGG. So go ahead and be dreaming up some amazing questions. We have an awesome cast here. I'm going to go ahead and start introducing who the heck we are. That way you guys can start dreaming up some amazing questions here. It's pretty simple. If you've been around for a little while, I'm Josh. I'm the social media marketing manager. If you're interacting on Twitter or YouTube or any of our social media, there's a pretty good chance you're chatting with me. If you like the super awesome content, self-plugged, self-claimed super awesome content that I'm putting together, then let me know. Throw some emojis in the chat, guys. Let me know that you're liking what I'm doing here, so I'll keep doing it. But I've been with CG for about 3 months now, but I'm way more excited to talk about these people who are here with me because you guys get to talk to me all the time. I rarely get a chance to pull all these people together and have the type of conversation that we're going to be able to have today. So to go ahead and kick everything off, I think what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the newest member of the team. Are you guys ready to hear from the newest member of the team? The crowd goes wild. Actually, yeah, the parrot. Like, I wasn't even going to say anything about that. I was just going to let that thing keep being majestic. I'm glad you brought it up.
Popular as hell.
On all like lanes, I'm literally a parrot, so don't worry about it.
I love it. So I think Connor, have you been on a live stream before? Is this also your first live stream? Or Julian, have either one of y'all been on live streams?
No, this is my first live stream.
What's the first? Dude?
So we got a first for 2 or 3 people today. This is actually super fun. I didn't even think about that till just now. It's all 3 of y'all's first time on stream. So you guys are here for a super special Fan Friday today. So to go ahead and kick things off, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Ash. Ash is one of the newest members of the Chain Guardians team. I'm going to let her talk about herself and give her introduction here. So Ash, I'm going to go ahead and kick it on over to you. Go ahead and reveal yourself.
Hi everyone. You're not gonna get a face, but you'll get my drawing.
Works for me.
My name is Ash, and I'm the game art director for the RPG for Chain Guardians.
Whoop, whoop.
My background is in television animation, and I also like to table at anime conventions for fun. I was brought into Chain Guardians through Noi. He dragged me right in, and
Thank you, Noi.
It seemed like a super amazing opportunity for me because it plays into my strengths, and honestly, I get to draw to my interests, anime
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I know absolutely nothing about crypto. This is my first baby steps into it all.
Well, and you know what I think is actually really, really fun about that is that we are like, we do a lot to make sure that we don't just talk over people's heads, right? Because there's a lot of jargon in crypto that is super confusing if you don't know about it. And don't get me wrong, like there is the time and the space for us to connect to those like really intelligent people about blockchain technology. However, a huge part of Chain Guardian's mission is to bring mass adoption into the space. And in order for mass adoption to really catch on and have any traction, we have to be able to start the conversation at any level. And so I really love the fact that you're coming in at that level. What's up, Noi?
Yeah.
People are saying that there are like issues with the audio.
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
And it's not loud enough and stuff like that.
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can fix something here.
We can't hear us, but they can hear you apparently.
All right, let's see. Let's see if this sounds any better here.
Sorry guys, technical difficulties.
Actually, I don't hear you, so hang
So
on.
hard.
Oh man.
You're gonna have to do it again, Ash. Sorry.
Technical difficulties. All right.
Oh, hey, people can hear me now. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus.
All right, so here's the problem is that when I have my headphones on, if I don't turn off my speakers, everything will echo, but I'm not hearing any sound come through my headphones. That's why I made that audible call earlier. So, small problem there.
Let's redo everything.
Everything. All right, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and keep tinkering with my speakers. Ash, I'm going to turn all you guys back up so they can hear you guys okay. You guys go ahead and roll through your intros. I'm going to troubleshoot while you're doing the intros, and I'll be right back.
Thanks for helping out, guys. Can you guys hear us fine now?
It will in 2 seconds, right now.
All right. We good on the audio?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you right now, actually, so hopefully the chat can.
So nobody can hear me apparently. Maybe my mic is like too low.
No, honestly, like in the chat, everybody's volume seems to be
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear
Here
everyone.
we go.
too.
People can hear now.
Yeah, all right.
I'm probably too loud now.
Don't
You guys don't need that.
Nah.
Turn
Nah.
the screech
Hey,
into
there
everyone's
we go.
ears.
All right, is this all right? I'm gonna go in the other room and, or actually, I'm gonna pull the stream up from my phone, so I'm gonna disappear for a second and mute myself. You guys go ahead and keep talking. Ash, I'm so sorry. Will you please re-intro? Round 2 is always great, right?
Okay, well, I'll try my best. Round 2 is a lot harder for me, but you know what? Woo! Okay. Hey, chat. Hey, everyone. If you can hear me, please let me know, because I don't want to do this a third time. I'll be shaking. My name is Ash, and I'm the game art director for the RPG for Chain Guardians. I have a background in television animation, and I also like to table at conventions, selling my anime art for fun. I was brought into Chain Guardians through Noi. He dragged me right in. And Chain Guardians, this game, was such a cool opportunity for me, and I could not do it. It allows me to be able to draw what I like
and the team is honestly super awesome. Everyone's super nice to me. And yeah, I know nothing about crypto, and this is my first baby steps into it, and I'm super excited to learn.
Hey, I'll tell you the
Amazing. You
first
sound like me,
lesson of
actually.
crypto is don't click any links that don't come from official Discord channels, and don't share
Okay.
any information with nobody. Like, no,
Trust no one, not even yourself.
trust no one.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha. I will not trust myself.
It's true.
So no, it's great. And I won't give my whole spiel like I gave earlier, but just to touch on that real quick, I love when people don't have a ton of crypto background, because that means that we kind of get to help build onto that. And then we also get to do it in a way where the community kind of gets to see how we explain things over time, and they get to watch somebody's progression. And even if they don't feel confident in their own ability to be able to go out and research and learn crypto and get involved in that space, sometimes just simply seeing somebody else go through that journey and see that it's really manageable if you're surrounded by the right people and the right information, aka the ChainGuardians squad, then it's really not that bad of a journey to go through. So I love that. Welcome to the team, Ash. We love to have you. Can't wait to dig in a little bit more into what your background is and kind of a little bit more of that story there. But to continue the intro, sorry it's dragging out on a lot longer than I wanted to on the intro side, guys, due to these technical difficulties. Noy, do you want to go ahead and run through what you are for the company, what you do, how many cats have disappeared?
I have no idea what you're talking about the cats. It's a vicious rumor, and I don't like it. You guys, I don't know who started that, but yeah, just please stop that now.
Actually,
But,
I think you started it, and I think I was digging through old videos, and I heard you say it, and I just never let it go. I really feel like you're gonna get a link to a video that's not gonna make you happy later, or no?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just fess up then. I don't remember. Maybe I was under the influence or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna blame. I blame alcohol.
You're gonna blame it on the alcohol?
Yeah. I wasn't myself that day, which was 2
So
days
what do
ago.
you do, Noy? What do you do for ChainGuardians?
I draw pictures, man. I'm the CCO of ChainGuardians, so pretty much brought in to kind of dictate the look and feel of the core business, like everything you see on the ChainGuardians website, all the new guardians that are being designed, all the characters and stuff like that. I do those. So I think, like Ash, I don't know a lot about crypto. I know a bit more now. It's funny because hearing her talk, she sounds exactly like me like 6 months ago, where I'm just an artist, and I just happen to be an artist that does artwork for a crypto company. And I believe that our brand is totally unique. We're like seriously undervalued in this space. Just so there's 29 people watching, but I think there may be some new watchers in here, and they may not be aware of what exactly we do. We essentially gamify crypto art. So imagine Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, right? You have the card, you purchase it on OpenSea as an NFT. Not only do you have a very super rare collectible piece, but you could take that, bring it into our game, and start playing games with it. We have an RPG game on our website. And not only do you play games with it, I mean, you can start earning crypto with that. So, I mean, it's such a winning formula. I don't know why we're not like higher than we are. We're gonna be. I mean, we have some things in the pipeline that's gonna ensure we gain market. I don't know what you call it. Josh knows the words. He's the fancy guy.
The fancy guy.
He's the fancy guy. He's got fancy hair, fancy shirt.
Hey, you know what? I didn't even get fancy with my hair today. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna hit him with the gel. We're not gonna get that many subscribers off of my gel this morning. I wanted your art to be the highlight of the show, so I was like, we'll slack off on the gel today.
I don't think you can help that though. I mean, people are gonna feel how they feel, right?
I appreciate it. But
yeah,
dude, you've been working hard though. I mean, we got the website rebrand. You have the new NFT designs. You have the new NFT that just came out, from our Avalanche integration. Himoan, however we're saying that one. There's a lot that you have been pounding the pavement on, and so it's like when I'm talking and I'm like, yo guys, it's not all the time I get to pull these people together. Like, you don't really understand how busy these guys really are. Like, they play it off and make it nonchalant, like it's kind of casual, but things are really flying around 100 miles an hour all day. So
yeah, for sure. for sure. It's because we believe in the brand and we're excited, right? We're trying to create a game and a property that we like.
Yeah.
It's not for like a quick money grab or anything like that. So yeah, we're just fanboys, just creating what we love. So, and I think
Yeah.
I hope it shows, guys.
I think it does. And I mean, obviously, I'm going to feel that way from inside the circle, but I still feel like saying that because with me being pretty new on the team, 3 months ago, I was just another random dude making cool content on the internet. And so it really goes to show how quickly you can go from, like you can use my story and even Ash's story as inspiration here. Because, we didn't have a huge crypto background, but yet here we are on a huge crypto team doing huge crypto things. So this is pretty fun. So we got a couple other people I want to get into their introduction. Sorry you guys had to wait longer through those technical difficulties. I think I got it figured out. I had to swap some cables and plug some things in. You know how things go. It's always fun in the tech
Josh.
world. Yeah, right. Nothing will test your critical thinking skills like being live. I promise you that much. So we're going to go ahead and kick it on over to Connor. Connor, will you please tell our lovely audience who they're talking to?
Hi guys, I'm Connor. I joined ChainGuardians relatively recently, back there sort of around August time, and I am the general project manager for sort of like all our games in general, and specifically the focus at the moment is the RPG.
Yeah.
So my background is I'm a massive nerd and love my games. So I love everything from anime to comic books to, I have well over 1,000 games in Steam. I have hundreds and hundreds of PlayStation games. I play everything from roguelites to phone games and everything else in between. So, and my background, in university, I studied computer games programming and majored, as you like, in computer games production. And I oversee and hopefully will be able to bring you very, very well, with the help of Julian, who will introduce himself shortly, bring you some really big improvements and adjustments to the RPG that I think will get everybody really excited and really hyped.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one, man. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people who are going to be tuning in today. They're going to enjoy a lot of the fun stuff that we're talking about, but I know that there are going to be some people who are like anxiously awaiting to hear some confirmations or some updates about anything you guys can share on the dev side from the RPG. So I'm super happy to have you guys on the call today. So thanks for being here, Connor.
Oh man,
No problem. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned Julian on the call with us, and he's going to be talking a little bit more about the RPG and the game dev side of things. Julian, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are.
Sexy parrot.
All right. So hi, I'm the parrot. I'm really a parrot in real life, so this is really my webcam, if you can't tell. But otherwise, seriously, I'm the team lead developer for the RPG. So I've been spearheading all the technical details for the RPG improvements that we are bringing to you, hopefully very soon.
Yeah.
And I've been with ChainGuardians since October, and basically getting my hands dirty into everything, making sure that we can ship the best quality to you guys in terms of interaction features, and working with Ash, Noy, and Connor to also provide like some amazing art for your eyes to feast on.
Amazing.
Well, and with all the new development of everything that's going on, it really kind of leads to where you guys have plenty on your plate. Like obviously, there's a lot of new features that we're trying to get implemented for the community. We have the 7 days of dev updates that came out. That's on the blog post before the website got rebranded, and some of those were huge initiatives that got outlined for our community. And if I'm not mistaken, we're pretty close to being able to get some of these things to actually be live and integrated into the system. And we might be able to talk a little bit more about that on today's stream. So, but that whole process of how things are developing and the next layer is kind of unlocking and we're stepping into that next chapter, it really does require a lot of things to be in place. You have to have the actual infrastructure built on the back end from the development side, but then you also have to have assets and art to plug into all that infrastructure. And that kind of leads me to like my first question for our new member, Ashley, over here. You had talked a little bit about your background in TV animation and how it perfectly fits and kind of plugs together here with ChainGuardians. Do you mind sharing a little bit about with the community, like specifically what you do? Like what are you doing art for stuff in the game? Are you doing art for content that they get to see? Like help them understand what you're working on right now.
Yeah, cool. So what I'm doing for ChainGuardians for the RPG is doing the character sprites, chibis. I'm
Nice.
kind of drawing them in my style now, and we're updating them.
Yeah,
It's gonna
nothing
look
wrong with an
fancy,
update.
it's gonna look cool. I don't know what I can show today, but
Can I show some stuff?
oh my God, sure.
I'm not gonna say no to that question probably ever.
Connor's sweating right now. I was like, no, don't let him near any.
No,
I don't want you
no
to
pressure,
explain
but you're
what-
full screen right now, Noise. So are you about to bless us with something that she's been building?
I can show you some artwork, that's for sure.
I'm not
So-
mad.
If I can figure this out technically, I'm an idiot.
Oh, well, I'm giving the camera back to Ash real quick while you get your life together.
What the hell am I doing?
Ash, what were you saying?
I've only done a few characters so far, but we plan to redo them all. And yeah, whenever Noi gets everything sorted, then you guys can kind of see. Oh, okay, here
Did
we
you
go.
see them?
Chat,
So
do you guys
here's
see
the-
that? You better
here's the
spam some
menu
emojis for this. Holy moly.
that I drew. Yeah, I don't think she's been released yet.
Oh God.
Well, she has now.
Hey, check it out.
Jesus Christ, man, what have you done?
Oh man, I did it again.
Oops, he did it
Don't let me
again.
near. Don't let me near a computer.
Yo,
Noise
these
my
look
favorite
so
because he
sick,
can't use
dude.
technology.
I just want to jump in and say to everybody, this is all work in progress, subject to change.
Yeah, anything. That's a really, really good
Connor,
point.
it's
Anything you
sweating
see on
bullets.
the stream could always change at any moment because, when things are a work in progress, we might need to tweak some things here and there, but
Yeah. And this is Dasha here. Look how cute she is. It's adorable. You just
you guys are okay. So I want to make
want
sure, Ashley, you do like animation of things, right? So like you'll actually take these chibis and make them do all the fun stuff, right?
They will be animated, yes, and they're gonna look flashy in the game.
You
We
hear
want to
that,
make them
guys?
look cool for everyone. So
I mean, to me, I think that's
excited
kind of
for
fun
that.
because it just shows the constant progression of the visual enhancements in the game. Like if you guys see that we're talking about, that there's been visual improvements or UX, UI enhancements, things of that nature. I mean, you guys are seeing some of what goes into all that. So thanks for sharing that. New chibi characters. Ain't nobody mad about new chibis. Ain't nobody mad about that.
so cute.
It's freaking awesome.
I love
So-
it. I'm excited. I'm a fan too, so that's why I kind of gush over Ashley's stuff.
No,
I'm a huge fan of her artwork.
it was actually kind of perfect because I remember, I think you posted like a Sonya chibi or something on Twitter, and it immediately like got saved by the whole ChainGuardians
Yeah.
marketing team. Like 3 seconds
Oh my
later, it was
gosh.
somebody's profile picture.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah. Once the new stuff
Really?
comes out, absolutely, man. Like people
Oh
freak out
my
when the new
gosh.
art comes out. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, like look in the chat. It's nothing but like heart eyes and everybody loving it. Like seriously, it's amazing
the
stuff.
Sonya, oh my gosh, the Sonya was she's really cute to me, and honestly, I love Noise character designs. They're crazy.
She's
And I was
beautiful.
like, yo, well, I gotta get used to these characters and learn how to draw them. So I kind of just, put out that Sonya, and I didn't know how received it was. So that's kind of crazy.
I wonder if the non-released chibi is actually related to like internal staking or anything like that. That might be.
That's Noise fault, not mine. Oops.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything else. That never happened, guys.
Yeah, and yeah, just like with the Men in Black thing, like we flash everybody's light real quick.
Never happened. You didn't see nothing.
That is awesome.
I think I'm
no,
gonna get fired.
I kind of want to ask the dev team a little bit about the same question here. Julian, can you expand a little bit about like I know the last time we talked you had just put out an article to the community because I was putting all that out. I made the post on Twitter. We pushed all that to everybody. Your dev update to everybody. Can you expand a little bit about on anything that maybe has happened since then, or just some more things from that article? Enlighten some people from your side of the fence, kind of what you're working and developing on, what's making everything special right now.
Yeah, of course. So to get back on this blog, so yeah, hi, I'm the dude who actually wrote this article. Literally visualize a parrot on on a keyboard writing a WordPress article. But otherwise, the idea was to present to you guys the vision that we had at the time for the technical realization of the improvements that we want to create for the RPG. And the first of them was really basically, like Josh said in the beginning, very much back-end stuff. So making sure that if we go to when we go to a play-to-earn model, everything is pretty much secure and nobody loses their money, because that is actually something very important. So we spent quite a lot of time making sure that security is tip-top, validating this with true pen testers, professionals from the security industry, just to make sure that we're solid, we're rock solid on this.
Yeah.
And it took us, like, I'd say most of the end of 2021. And in parallel, at the start of 2022, Ash joined us, and Ash and I have been working a lot on many new assets. So like the chibis, the new chibis you've seen, even though one of those chibis you shouldn't have seen. But otherwise, we've been working on basically revamping the entire game. So the UI work, the UI flow in particular, making it feel much more natural, creating new screens, putting information in a more logical and consistent way. Redoing, like we said, all of the characters are being redone in a new style, better style. So making them more like impressive to look at, more animations, more explosions everywhere, you know, the kind of deal. Like it's got to be a blockbuster, and that's what kind of what we're
I'm
aiming
just
for.
envisioning like Die Hard or like Fast and the Furious movies nowadays or something, like where there's just all these explosions and this parrot's just walking out in front of it with stuff blowing up behind it now.
So that's basically what we've been doing for the past 3 months, like working on all these improvements ever since the 7 days of dev and ever since the blog post. So right now we're pretty much in a spot where the technicals are secure. Like we're pretty much done with security, with most of the gameplay aspects, etc. Now it's a question of we're working all of the features that are currently in the existing game and working on the new features we want to bring to you.
Now,
and so that's where we're at.
I got a question for you, because you had brought up security, right? Now, are you talking security in the sense of like, yo, we need to make sure that our system is bulletproof so that people aren't like logging in and just stealing your CGG? Or are you talking security in sense of like people manipulating the game and like kind of like bot spamming playable actions and stuff like that? Like, can you enlighten the community what you mean there?
Both, and I'd say a couple of other cases. So in the case of manipulation, we've decided, to secure a whole lot of the gameplay in the backend to ensure that nobody can basically manipulate the gaming clients to allow for cheating or data injection, this kind of stuff.
No, you have to actually play now. Sorry, bro.
The other thing would be seriously about making sure that the whole crypto aspect of this, since we're connecting wallets, we're dealing with tokens, NFTs, and stuff like that. Well, nobody loses their data in regards to this. It still is a sensible and valuable data, so it was important for us to make sure that you'd never lose this. And the other cases would be more around live deployment. So the idea is that we want to be a lot leaner with the way we handle the RPG in the future in terms of adding new features, adding new content, etc.
What would be the benefit of that? When you say being leaner, what do you mean?
Being more agile, I want to say, being able to release more frequently, maybe smaller assets, like over time. We'll be adding new stuff, and maybe they'll not be complete on the first release, but over multiple releases, and with the feedback of our players, of course, we're able to ship something that's quality. And that's something that we wanted absolutely to create, at least in the RPG team, in the way we're building this product and the way we're making it way better. It's something that we need to be agile, because we're doing a lot of new stuff. We're breaking a lot of stuff too, and we're going to need confirmation from our players. And if we don't have confirmation from the players, I want to say it's not worth doing it. We want to make sure that this game is fun and that we're proud of it, and of course that all the systems around it work.
Well, and you know, and I think the big evidence of that is whenever we were talking earlier about Connor's massive game collection. I think it was Connor's earlier collection, right? That we were talking about, like 100 PlayStation games. I think that should have been your profile picture, by the way. It was just like all your games, just right there. I think people would respect.
I don't
the
have an
hell out of
angle,
that.
but
He's like, I need a
I
bigger
don't have a
camera.
lens big enough.
That's freaking awesome.
I love it.
But dude, Julian, you had just hit on a ton of stuff that I'm sure that people like. We could spend the entire rest of the day unpacking all the specifics of what you talked about. But a couple of key highlights that I think I want to kind of resurface for everybody listening in right now is that one, massive security enhancements. So one, you just kind of get ease of use, like peace of mind from the user that you don't have to worry about, whether or not your stuff is.
I just wanted to add something because I'm a developer and I'm pretty like logical about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to add that there wasn't any security issues before. It's just that we're bringing something new, something that doesn't exist in the game, and it needed a lot of
a really good
technical.
call-out.
Yeah. I just wanted to add this, just not to panic anyone. There is no issue currently.
Everyone's like, oh my God. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good call out. Thank you for that. Because it's definitely, so, something that brought me to ChainGuardians was that I very quickly realized that everybody that is on the team is really just focused on delivering the best that they possibly can. Like nobody's out here just like ego completing tasks. And what I mean by that is like, oh, let me just get it done as fast as I can so that I can say that it's done and then move on to the next thing. Like we're really focusing on making sure that it's done correctly so that it's sustainable and lasting for a long, long time. So like these improvements like this.
If I can just jump in there really quickly, Josh.
Please,
basically what it is that we're adding a lot of new features, and I need to be careful because there's certain things that maybe haven't been announced yet, but some of these new features
like what?
Required us to have a really good look at how we would secure them. Yeah, and it's those new features that have required a lot of work. I mean, there's also the fact that there's due to popularity and a lot of new users coming in, we had to take a look at our back end. And realistically speaking, we really needed to rewrite a lot of the back end and therefore rewrite the client and secure the communication between the two properly. And with all this extra stuff coming in, it's been a huge rewrite essentially of both these systems. As Julian alluded to, the current system works fine. Yeah. But it's just that with this expansion and like I said, I mean, things that maybe I can talk about a little bit, there'll be gameplay improvements. There's improvements coming down the line in terms of game design. More levels, more really expanding and fleshing out what's already there. I suppose to coin a phrase on it, we're looking at calling this next release, and I don't want to give a hard date for that, but it is close. But we would call that the foundation release, and the view then is that all the back end and all the client code will be in an excellent position. And whenever Julian there was talking about sort of efficiency, for example, the game should load a lot faster. It should be able to pull down assets a lot faster. The actual code will run better and be a lot more stable. We've squashed hundreds of bugs.
I bet your shoes are dirty.
But the idea is then we can really pump forward with confidence and go back to what we had maybe that some of our older users are more familiar with, where we can push out more regular updates. And I think that's what Julian meant by being more agile. That we can really drop these characters on a more regular basis, new characters, redesigns of the old characters, redesigns of the backgrounds, in a far more agile pattern. So therefore we should be able to go back to this, the format that our older users are more familiar with, where there'll be regular updates and not causing maybe bugs and issues further down the line.
No, that makes sense. Like I'm just thinking, like the bridge that somebody might have built to originally, help 100 people cross to the other side is not going to be the exact same bridge that's still standing there when there's 1 million people that need to cross to the other side. And so
this is an all new bridge. This is more or less the case where look, it was a fine bridge for 100 people. but we decided, we're going to build a new bridge right next to it, and eventually we'll close off that old bridge, and the new bridge will be open.
If you build it, they will come. I think it's been said for a long time now.
There's some awesome questions in chat as well, and all those are being looked at, guys. So yeah.
Well, go ahead and pick a couple. Oh, well, actually, we could save them until we get to the into the official. That way I can reward them, because if there's some quality questions in there, I want to make sure that they get rewarded with some CGG. Let me make sure there's no other topics that I wanted to cover real quick before we get into that. Do you guys have anything else that's on your mind while I'm reading through some of this?
Not that I can think of.
Let's see here.
I don't think so.
All right, yeah, I think we covered a lot of what I really wanted to talk about, specifically with you four being in here. I'm excited to hear that there's some security improvements that are coming, just because, like you said, not that there was any that are needed, but just as the attention grows, we get more registered players, more and more monthly active. Just as the community is just piling into the game, that's one of those things that has to be reined in. So we're ahead of the curve there. We got that dialed in. That's fantastic. We are building everything to handle the scaling and the expansion that we know is inevitably coming our way.
Well, it's also new features. Again, I don't want to talk too much, but there'll be extra features which will bring us a better play to earn experience.
Yeah.
And they are fundamentally different to the ones that are there now, and therefore that requires a bit of extra work.
I'm kind of fidgety because I wish we could just openly talk about everything, but still, just have to. Nothing worth having is just built instantaneously, and so just.
To be fair, myself and Julian, are locked away in a room, as it were, just bashing away at this. So sometimes I'm not entirely clear what has been released and what hasn't been released.
We had to get approval from the head honchos to let them stop working just to come do this stream for you guys.
That's why, I mean, this is like a good opportunity for me to get out. So that's why I put my webcam in the garden. Decided to let my hair grow a bit. It feels good, like, to be on the stream, be able to breathe a bit.
Grass under your feet.
Yeah,
gotta get that vitamin D. That is so awesome, dude. Well, guys, I think that we are at a point now to where we might be able to start pivoting over to some live Q&A from our audience here. Guys, there's going to be a lot of great questions in the chat. Do me a favor. We're going to kind of look through and see if there's some questions that have already been typed, but if you can @ChainGuardians whenever you ask your question, that will make it pop up highlighted for me, so it's a lot easier to see amongst everything that everybody else has already typed. And then, if you don't mind, when you ask your question, like if we pick your question, I'm going to need you to post your Twitter handle. That way I can get a hold of you to send some rewards. So,
who doesn't like rewards, right?
What's that?
Who doesn't like rewards?
I don't know. I don't know that I trust people who don't like rewards.
I'm looking at the parrot.
I feel like the parrot should just be full screen for sure while we do this.
Yeah, go ahead. Look at me.
Look at me. I love it.
This is so awesome.
Wait, let me get my family for this too.
You have a family?
Yeah, of course.
Let's
Do you
see
think
here.
I just came out of the earth?
Noy, do you see any questions? Noy, you did mention there was a couple of cool ones in here.
Yeah, just let me scroll up here. Should we expect a hard reset for our game progress, or progress will be saved for the coming updates? I guess that's a Connor Julian thing.
Can you get the name of that person somewhere so I can follow? Can that person type their Twitter name? I don't want to forget that. Last time I was a little slow on that and it made it really difficult.
So yeah, that's Christian Jade. I'm not gonna butcher your name. Yeah, just make sure you type that in there.
Yeah, Christian Jade, hit me with your Twitter handle. That way we can hook up some rewards. So who was answering that question? I'm so sorry I interrupted.
I can answer that quite easily. No, all your progress will be saved.
There
we again, part of our work switching over the systems, and something that has taken us a lot of gnashing of teeth and making sure that we do it right, is ensuring that we, in fact, to give you a slightly more technical answer, we're actually going to be running this switchover of systems in parallel. So what will happen is, as people have been logging in over the last couple of months, the old backend system is porting everything across to the new system actually live. So it's backed up twice. Eventually, sometime off in the distant future, after we've pushed both these systems to the live client, we will eventually shut down the backend systems, but for quite a while we'll be running both to ensure that we can get all the users over onto the new backend systems.
So in
Cat's
terms
going
of
nuts, Josh. Just saying.
what's that?
Your cat in the background is going nuts.
Yeah.
Was.
Some of it.
He's got a mind of
Great,
his
thanks.
own, dude.
Thanks, cat. You just made a liar out of me.
Hey.
So you had you were talking about the progress not getting reset here, and so when we're speaking progress, does that mean that like if I have power, I've limit broke my character up to a level 60, and all the progress I've made there, and all the stuff I've bought in the store, and the things in my inventory, and any tokens that I've earned, and all the levels that I've already beaten, nothing actually gets reset, right? I maintain everything.
Levels
There may be just really quickly, because there may be some changes to some of the inventory items. Any changes, minor changes like that, we will look to reward the players in other ways. If there's some loss of inventory items, because with some of the rebalancing, and these will be major improvements to the game, some items maybe have become redundant, but any players that have lost anything in that regard, we would look to rebalance and supply some kind of reward further down the line. But in terms of character progression, that is the key thing, because obviously if you put a lot of time and work into your squads and your characters, that is the main thing that we've looked to preserve. Like I said, there's some rebalance, so there might be a slight shift, but at all times it should be fairly equitable.
Well, it's good that the goal is for there to be no loss, but if there is, we'll do what we can to address it and make it fair for the players. So,
well, like I said, it's one of those things that should make a lot of sense to anyone that's played these kind of games out there. Certain items may become fairly redundant with some of the rebalance. Again, I don't want to release too much yet, because this is still, when I say work in progress, we have a lot of this hammered out. We just need to fully play test it.
Right.
And there may be some slight tweaks, but there's a few miscellaneous items that we're actually fairly certain people aren't really using that much anyway. So, we've got a lot of the back end data to shift through, and we've had a good look through it. And like I said, a lot of these items actually aren't that particularly used. But if someone does have a lot of these items, we'll look to recompense them in other ways.
There's one thing I'd also like to add about the levels and the campaign altogether.
Yeah.
We will be keeping most of the campaign progression from each of the players' accounts, but there's going to be a difference, because basically we're redoing the campaign. It's brand new levels. Most of the world's more levels. So yeah, I'm definitely leaking some stuff right now. I shouldn't be doing this, but since we're talking about progression, I just wanted to add this, that the campaign is getting a huge overhaul. And so in terms of progression, it might not correspond to what we currently have in here you go. I said it.
Well, I mean, so there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be in the works, guys. So I mean, there's a pretty handsome amount of leaks that have come out in this video. I don't know if everybody's picked up on all the leaks that have actually happened. I might have to pull them all together and.
You guys shoot the leak master tonight.
Yeah, I'll be getting the baseball bat out later.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
I
That's
think
how we settle things here, with violence.
we do have a violence. I mean, the nature of our game, it is what it is. Somebody here asked a great question that I feel like is worth bringing up, because it is something that I'm sure is probably on a lot of people's minds here. Let's see here. Dara, I believe that's how I pronounce that, is asking if the underlying gameplay of ChainGuardians is going to be same as in turn-based battles, with the only nuance being the type of advantage. And so I'm assuming they're talking about like whether it's wind, water, that sort of player. So is there, I think the question is asking, are there going to be other mechanics implemented into the game to take the nuance beyond the paper, rock, scissor piece? I know some of that's already been mentioned. Is there anything else that you can talk about, maybe for anybody who doesn't know what's been said?
I believe this has been announced, but
It has.
And again, we're not going to be doing this. How well implemented this will be in the foundation release, because at the end of the day, we realize the community has been very, very patient and has been, like I said, a lot of back end work's been done and has taken time. So we will get as much as we can in, but it's quite likely skill trees and certain things like that will come a bit later. So it will maintain still the current format of the rock, paper, scissors, but with a little bit of extra spice. So, you'll be able to vary up your gameplay a bit more with skills, special moves. You'll be able to customize your characters with these skills a little bit more. Again, I don't want to speak about this too much because, this hasn't been fully play tested yet. I can say we do have the designs all in place. And these are being worked on for quite some time.
Yeah, several at this point.
So we have the stats and numbers. They're looking strong, but we'll need to play test them. Like I said, it may not come with the foundation release. It may come, shortly after. Certainly not the same kind of time scales we've had to do recently. Because like I said, recently has been basically a fundamental overhaul. So it will maintain the I suppose the best way to put it is this. It will be what it is currently, but a lot more. I think that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, I agree with that, because we're definitely not going to be taking anything away from the game. We're only going to be adding other layers into it to kind of make that experience more immersive. And you guys heard how much gaming is in the roots of everybody that's on this team right here. So we definitely understand in the areas that the RPG could use a little bit of extra help, and we're going to be pumping into that. That's why we're expanding our team. I think we've got over 40 plus people on the team now, 45. I think the other day I threw out a 65 number, but I was combining something that shouldn't be announced yet. So I'll let you guys connect dots that shouldn't be connected yet, but they're already out in the ethersphere. So, Dara Lombard, will you please drop your Twitter in the chat so I can make sure that I can hit you up on Twitter to get you some rewards? Thank you for the great question. Do you guys see it? If you see a question that you want to pluck out of here, just make sure you give me the name of who it was, and we can go ahead and drop them out. I think the next question that I see in here is coming from Sacred. So Sacred, if you can drop your Twitter handle in the chat, that would be fantastic. They're asking, is CGG in the... Wait, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Are you going to use fiat in the game to craft your items in the future, or are you going to have CGG to be able to craft items and do upgrades and power limit your characters? Once we are in that foundational release, is it still going to be fiat, or are we going to be switched over to CGG? Can you clarify that? Or maybe not yet. I don't know if that's publicly available knowledge. If we can.
there's sort of ongoing discussions about that.
So would it be safe to say that it'll stay fiat until something else is officially announced? That's probably the easiest way.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the fact we're kind of stumbling over this probably gives a large hint to what's road to do.
That's all the hint you're gonna get on that answer there. So we're gonna let them kind of connect the dots there. I feel like it's a good point.
Yeah.
Not having an answer sometimes is an answer.
It's one of those things as well where I think people are, like you say, connecting the dots. Once we do it, we want to make sure it's absolutely watertight. So again, if it's not in the foundation release, it'll be coming very, very shortly. But ultimately speaking, we would like to go with a single token for the whole game.
Right.
I think that's honest without saying too much.
I am seeing a ton of questions in here of people being really excited about wanting to know about the metadata being updated on chain for our NFTs. So is there any enlightenment that I think I see 3 questions about that from different people here.
Yes, but we can talk about it. Is that a sufficient answer?
Yeah, that was the reason why I was kind of dancing around those questions. Is I figured that was going to be the response. So, sorry,
Look,
guys.
I can maybe give a slightly more fleshed out response to that.
Okay, yeah, hit me with it. What you got?
It's something that is definitely on our list. It's just that in terms of priority right now, we've got a whole bunch of other things that are slightly higher priority. Again, once the foundation releases out, our ability to shift focus is look, it's nearly a thing of like the foundation release is nearly like the house is more or less finished, and now we can decorate. So
Ooh,
a
I
lot
like
of
that
these
analogy.
extra flavor things, the things that people are kind of like, oh, it'd be nice if we had this, be nice if we had that. A lot of that stuff will come after,
Yeah.
and it will come at a much faster pace because we if you like, we're able to hang things off a great solid foundation. So we will go back to being able to push features at a rapid rate without introducing new bugs or anything like that. So yes, so I suppose what I'm saying is it's on the list. It's one that we will definitely be getting in there. But when, leave it with us. The fact that it's been asked 3 times, that might push it a bit further up the list. But we have the technology already there. It's just a case of there's other things we need to get done first. But yeah, definitely on the list.
I agree with the way that you phrase that. Let's see here. I think it's Keone Mason and Hassan. Go ahead and hit me with both of y'all's Twitter handles. That way, I'm just gonna kind of split that question between the two of you guys because it was reading it from both of you that really made me pick it. So hit me with your Twitter handles, and we will send you some blessings.
Sorry, man. My OBS crapped out. That's why my camera just said ugly guy. Let's just turn off.
I figured you were just doing mischievous things.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Well, actually, so I actually got a question for you, Noi or Ash, whichever one. I know we were talking about some of those new chibis. We showed some of those new chibis, and we also just had the new NFT redesign. So
Yes,
two-parter
sir.
question. First part, are the NFT designs going to stay in that format going forward? Like, should we expect all new NFT characters to embrace the new NFT designs?
You mean the new card, like the?
Sorry, yeah, the card art. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Absolutely. Let me share my screen.
Do it. Leaks incoming.
Oh boy.
No
Boy,
leaks.
really?
No leaks. So yeah, they will. This is the new template going forward, and
Beautiful.
I think it's a lot more modern than the older template. Not to say that the older template was ugly, because I created that as well.
But things evolve, man, and this is one of them, and this is a
This is
beautiful
awesome.
evolution.
No, I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
These are
But
sick,
yeah, no,
man.
I gotta just.
This is the hot new right here.
I gotta make sure I don't like click on the wrong things.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh wait, what? What do you mean? This
Whoops.
is
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
these are-
about.
These are just concepts and stuff.
Yeah, it's some loose concepts here.
Yeah. So what was the question, Josh? Sorry, I got sidetracked. I'm trying to do 2 things at once.
He's like,
here,
wait,
trying
they
to
said
not
my
leak.
name. Click leaks.
Yeah, click leaks. What am I doing?
Almost just
I
fell
should
over
just
my
stop
chair. I'm glad
presenting
that
now.
didn't happen on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll let them figure that out on their own. Ash, here's my question for you. When should we be, or maybe it's a dev question, I don't know. When should we see some of your new art, some of the new animations that you are bringing to the team and you're making them come to life? When should we be able to expect to see that?
I can answer a part of this. So for the UI in particular, that's Noid did definitely not leak.
Yeah, he didn't show nothing. I saw nothing.
No, that didn't happen at all. So we're planning definitely to have most of it for the foundational release. As a matter of fact, it's being implemented at the moment. And that's all I'm going to say about it. In terms of the rest, I'll let Noe and Ash answer this.
Ash, are you redoing all of the existing chibi characters and starting there? Is that kind of the play?
That is the plan, yeah.
So we're gonna
So,
see
yeah,
the Ash
look,
2.0 version of all these. This is gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be amazing.
Again, just to jump in, essentially what it will come down to is we will get as much of the new chibi art in as we can, and then after that we will again, don't want to say too much, but we will have interesting ways of implementing these new characters into the game that
No,
will
So
actually
excited for
be inside of the client in a gameplay type way, and I'll say no more.
No, that makes sense. Ash, you know, whenever we were doing your intro, I said that I would throw in a little time to kind of expand a little bit on your history. Nothing too crazy, right? But like, you talked about having a background history in TV, and how you're connecting all that into Chain Guardians. So, like, have you just been into art forever? Like, have you been drawing and doing this type of stuff like your whole life, or is this like a recent thing that you got really good at? Like, what's that look like? The brief version of that story.
Okay, before I answer that, do you guys want to see like a fan art version of Aaron that I'm drawing right now?
But of course.
I can share my
I'm
screen.
excited.
I've already got you
let's
pinned to
go.
be full screen right now, so let's get it.
Oh boy, okay. Let me show my Aaron. I hope that this looks all
Do
right.
we consider this
Does
leak?
look-
Oh my god.
No, it's just like something I'm doing for fun.
She's
on the
so
side.
pretty.
All
So
right.
yeah.
It's a dead
Here's my Aaron drawing. So with art, I've kind of just been doing it forever, honestly. It's something that I apparently started as a toddler, a little babby, and I picked up a pen and I just drew lines. And
So you've literally
I
been at
don't
this like your
remember-
whole life.
Yeah, I just liked drawing and it was fun. That's the best way I could describe it. It's just fun. So yeah, eventually that led me into animation field. I like the idea of drawing cartoons,
Yeah.
and it was the anime side of things that I did for fun for myself. I don't draw anime for television or anything, but it was the
You do
I
now.
kept it to the side. Yeah, I do now. You're right. It's kind of something I wanted to do since I was a little kid. I kind of think to myself sometimes, wow, I'm actually drawing anime for a living now. This is
Right.
wild. My 12-year-old self would be like, what?
No,
But,
I'm glad you showed this because this is awesome. I
Chat
mean,
is
even
blowing
if
up.
it's just for fun, like this is sick.
Yeah, I started with like a sketch underneath. I don't know if you can see it. It's like this super light pink. I even have an Aaron chibi on the side here, but I don't know if you can see that. It's super duper.
Oh my god.
I
I can
like
see it a little bit. I
tone.
don't know how it shows up for everyone else, but I can definitely see it.
Yeah, here, let me try to
Well,
let me
and
just
part of the
darken
reason
it.
why I wanted to. Oh, there we go. There we go.
It's
Yeah, give it a little
That
color.
That reveal.
Yeah.
So we turn A into B over here. Wow.
We want pillows, guys. We
There's
want pillows. Let's
Oh
get this.
no. Yeah,
well there's just so much new development that's happening in the game real quick, and that's why I wanted to circle back to some of the artwork side, is because I feel like whether or not people realize how paralleled and how in tandem these two pendulums have to swing with each other, because when there's new development, like it's hard to push that dev out. Like it doesn't feel like new development unless it looks different as well. And that's where the new art and for the characters, the UI, all that stuff plays such a massive role. So it's like I kind of am trying in a way to peel back the layers for the community here so that they can see how the pieces of the puzzle truly fit together. That way they can understand the why behind how we actually unroll everything. Why, hey, why do they keep talking about one topic, 5 times in a row and not the other? And I want people to understand as much as we're allowed to share, really, and be as transparent as we can about what it is we're really working on. And then the
Live
pieces
art,
we
guys.
can't talk about, you just got to use your imagination.
She draws a hell of a lot faster than me, I tell you that.
what? Really? No way.
Oh, she's gonna be out here making you look bad, knowing. Yeah, look, she's
Oh
doing
my
it.
god, no.
I'm completely fine with that. I'm the biggest fanboy of her stuff, so it's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
This
Yeah,
looks amazing, though.
Isn't this sick?
Oh
It's
my
just so cool to
goodness.
see the talent in live in action.
We
Let's
should
see if
have this
there's-
as a segment.
Like, pardon?
We should have this like a live art drawing as a
Oh my
CG
gosh.
segment. It'd be amazing.
I think it would be there's definitely some more fun Fan Friday things we can do with some of this. I want to make sure that there's no more pressing questions that the community has that they're really wanting to answer for. See here. Ooh, here's a good one. Will there be new enemies or new raid bosses? He also asked if there's going to be new looks for the current one. I think it's safe to say that all the characters in the game are going to be visually updated in due time.
Yep.
But the question of whether or not there's going to be new enemies or like different raid bosses, I actually really like that question. Is there anything that we can share there?
For selfish reasons, yeah, there's gonna be new raid bosses, new enemies, new everything. I'm just gonna come out and say it because I want it to happen.
He's like, I'm speaking it into existence right now.
Exactly.
You know, there's definitely plans for this. The exact timing of it, again, like I said, I can assure that these things will start to come a lot more quickly over time. But what's going to be in the foundation release will be what we can cram in.
Yeah.
But over time, yes. I mean, to expand on that even a little bit further, we're looking to put in all new lore and story beats.
Yes.
You know, but again, foundation release is what we're talking about today. So
Yeah.
I suppose. So let's see how hard we can work, Ash and Noy, and we'll get back to you.
Right.
I love
Connor's
the
very
fact-
careful, unlike me. I'm kind of reckless. I'll just
I love
make
the fact
promises.
that Ash and her pen.
Just mesmerized by it.
No, it's just like in the pen presets. She has one that's called No Pressure. The second one, I love it. I just love it.
I love it.
That's pretty good stuff. There was a lot of questions that were asked today about the Cryptoverse. And those of you who were asking those questions were probably annoyed that I didn't answer any of them, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. And the reason why is because you may or may not have noticed that there is a new Cryptoverse Twitter. You can find it on Twitter, go figure, at Cryptoverse VIP. Should be super easy to find it, or you can just go right to the ChainGuardians Twitter, and you should be able to easily find a tweet that was retweeted yesterday. We didn't get super deep into the Cryptoverse on today's live stream, guys, as we do have completely separate teams that are building out different facets of the ChainGuardians ecosystem, right? So that sometimes there's been confusion amongst the community about like, oh my gosh, like you guys are building all this stuff over here and you're talking about all this, but we're still doing this thing over here. And it's like, we have different teams that are building all this stuff, guys. So the team that's joining me right now today is not necessarily the exact, all of them aren't exactly building the Cryptoverse right now side by side in parallel. Some of it, obviously, we're using all of our resources the way that we can, but I wanted to add that clarity that just because we're building Cryptoverse things doesn't mean that it's taking away from the ChainGuardians RPG or that it's taking away from anything else, because we don't start building the next thing until the resource has been allocated for that. So just wanted to clear any of that up. There was a lot of great Cryptoverse questions today. Cryptoverse was just not in the scope of today's live stream. That probably would have been all I had to say, and I just rambled on and on about it. But anywho, that's why you guys love me, is I give thorough, detailed explanations.
No, it's great that you made that distinction, because for me, like as the artist, I don't have much to say, much to do with the Cryptoverse at all. So this is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Just to further this brand, the core brand, the RPG, the superhero stuff, as I would like to call it, the fun stuff. So
Right.
So this is where my dedication is, and the future looks bright for
Very.
this. Yeah, for the RPG. So some of the stuff that we're working on, I just can't wait. And the community has a lot to say in it as well. Even during the last stream, I put in a request to implement some weapon skins. We'll see how that plays out. No promises, but that's something that I also kind of want to will into happening. So
I'm also going to be pushing.
Again, it's on the list. It's been brought up.
Right.
We'll see what we can do with our timescales. But
Connor's like, get Noy off the.
Well, I think that's something that would alleviate a lot of pressure from you guys that would be coming in from community members or anything like that. Is I know that we could alleviate a lot of anxiety if there was a public roadmap that we could get put together. So I'm going to do everything within my power to see, like, obviously we can't set hard dates, because when it comes to development, that just ain't the way it works, guys. Like it sometimes it just takes longer, or it comes faster. That's just the way it goes.
Saying about that, I think sometimes companies try to set very hard dates and then quality suffers.
Exactly. Like you get a hyper aggressive goal.
we really like to make sure that going forward we always meet really excellent quality.
Yeah.
And we've put in ourselves into a position where we can build, as Julian says, in a much more agile fashion.
Yeah.
Which means that it'll be much easier to get things out at a much more rapid pace, and ensure that quality maintains. In terms of a roadmap, I think potentially once we get because at the moment, because of the long delay on the RPG, while we've done all this, heavy lifting in the background, once the foundation releases out, we could look to do a roadmap. Right now, it's actually just a case of let's see what we can cram in for this big, this big sort of almost re-release, sort of new version.
Yeah, like
so making too many promises could undersell or oversell. I can say that we're trying to cram as much as we can in there.
Yeah.
Ensure that it's well tested and in excellent condition, and we'll take it from there. But after that, I think yes, it'd be a great idea to at least give some kind of loose roadmap.
Well, and something I'm thinking too,
releases out.
Like to give some clarity, because I know typically when you think of roadmap, there's a lot of specifics and there's a lot of commitments, and there's a lot of, that's kind of the point of the roadmap. Maybe we could get something together to where it's just like a currently in progress list. That way people don't have to question whether or not it's something that they are concerned about is actually being addressed just because it hasn't specifically been tweeted or something. So everybody in the community, just know that it is on my brain. I started the conversation here right in front of you. We're going to continue that conversation offline. We'll figure something out. That way you guys can have something cool to lean on. Make sure that if you're not already following everything Chain Guardians, there's two things you have to do. You have to follow us on Twitter, and you have to be in our Discord. I'm assuming since you're watching on YouTube, you've already clicked that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up, because it's YouTube and it's 2022, and y'all know what to do on YouTube these days.
Yep.
So I think here's the final question I'm going to ask is, when release? When foundation release? What's the goal? I know we just talked all out about not picking a specific date, but what are we trying to accomplish with
Connor on the spot there?
Just a little bit.
Somewhere between a month and 2 years. No, I'm joking. No,
2023. Well, no, I think it's safe to say that sometime within the next month and a half to 3 months is the realistic time frame to have the foundation release out in the market, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we'll keep everybody updated if anything changes, but right now that's the plan.
Yeah. I mean, because there's like I said, there is that thing of extensive play testing, ensuring quality. So if we run into some bumps, might take a little bit longer. As in, not longer. If it was longer than 3 months, it'd be by a week or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it's not like you're gonna just completely.
But I think that time frame is.
I think it's healthy.
Like you said, Josh, is a very healthy, acceptable time frame for us. Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, we talked about a lot. We covered some great questions. We got to see Ash's talents live here in the moment. She's just doodling away in the background, and it looks amazing. It's awesome. Yeah. It's so good. Awesome. So, guys, man, I really hope everybody got their questions answered today. I still need some Twitter handles from everybody. So, Dara Lombard, you might have dropped it and I might have missed it staring at Ashley drawing all this amazing stuff. Let's make sure that I get that Twitter. Sacred, hit me with your Twitter. Hassan, hit me with your Twitter. There
we go.
And then Ryan Zilla, please hit me with your Twitter as well. If you hit me with your Twitter handle, I will be able to get on Twitter and DM you and hook you up with some crispy rewards. If you don't hit me with a Twitter handle, you're going to have to pop in the next live stream. I won't have a way to get in touch with you. Oh, look at that great touch. Thanks, everyone.
How nice.
What a great touch.
Aww.
I'm going to be hanging out here in the YouTube chat for a little bit. Stream went on a little longer than anticipated because of those technical difficulties, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's not every day that we get to have this type of conversation with some high level people here from Chain Guardians. So thank you guys. These are the ones making magic happen behind the scenes every day when we get to log in and see what's different in the world. So thank you guys for taking time out of y'all's busy day to come in, make this conversation happen for our community. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
everyone.
It's the weekend now, so we get to play Dying Light.
Yeah.
That's right. That's out, right?
I'm still playing
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. What are you doing?
Back to work. Oh man.
I mean, French,
Guys.
it's time for like the first wine. I mean, like the first official wine. And
Oh, is it
then,
12 o'clock?
Yeah.
Guys, I think that's pretty much going to wrap everything up today. Thanks again for coming together and having the conversation for our community here. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to the official Chain Guardian soundtrack. Guys, don't forget to follow us on all the social media. Check out the website, complete rebrand. We got a lot of new stuff going on right now. Most of the information is going to be directly on Twitter, our Discord, or directly on the website. But I'm Josh from Chain Guardians, joined by the amazing, beautiful team up here. We'll catch you guys on the next live stream.
So beautiful.
Bye.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
黄昏れた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため立ち向かうそれは心も痩せたナイトが市街の隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その鍵を